My wife danced with other men at the party, but when she saw me with someone else, her world collapsed. There is a specific kind of loneliness that you only feel in a crowded room, standing next to the person who's supposed to love you the most. It's a cold, hollow feeling. I lived in that coldness for 3 years. My name is Tom. My wife, Jessica, was what you would call a social butterfly. At least, that's what she called herself. To me, she was a hurricane, and I was just the guy holding the umbrella, hoping not to get blown away. Jessica loved attention. She thrived on it. It was her oxygen. And early in our marriage, I mistook her need for validation as just being friendly or outgoing. But over time, friendly turned into flirty, and outgoing turned into disrespectful. The incident that ended everything happened last New Year's Eve. It was a gala hosted by her company, a black tie event, high stakes, expensive champagne, and a room full of people trying to impress each other. I didn't want to go. We'd been fighting for weeks, mostly about boundaries. We'd go to a bar, she'd take off her ring so she wouldn't lose it in the bathroom, and then I'd find her letting some guy buy her drinks while I stood 10 feet away holding her purse. When I'd bring it up, she'd roll her eyes. "You're so insecure, Tom," she'd say. "It's just fun. Don't be such a wet blanket. Nobody likes a jealous husband." Gaslighting is a powerful drug. After a while, you start to believe you were the problem. Maybe I was boring. Maybe I was controlling. So, for this party, I promised myself I would be cool. I put on my tuxedo, I complimented her stunning red dress, a dress that was cut dangerously low in the back. I told her she looked beautiful. She barely looked at me. She was too busy checking her reflection in the hallway mirror. "Try to keep up tonight, Tom," she said. "My boss is going to be there. Don't embarrass me by sulking in the corner." We arrived. The venue was breathtaking. Crystal chandeliers, a live jazz band that later switched to a DJ, open bars everywhere. Within 10 minutes, Jessica had vanished. I got a drink and started mingling. I'm not antisocial, I can hold a conversation, but every time I looked for my wife, I saw her with him. Let's call him Brad. Brad was the new guy in sales. Tall, loud, the kind of guy who wears too much cologne and touches people when he talks. At first, they were just talking. Then they were laughing. Then his hand was on her waist, not a friendly pat, a lingering, possessive grip. I walked over. "Hey," I said, forcing a smile. "Having fun?" Jessica looked at me like I was a waiter who had brought the wrong order. "Tom, this is Brad," she said, not moving away from his touch. "We're just talking strategy." "Strategy?" Brad smirked. He looked me up and down. "Your wife is a force of nature, Tom. You're a lucky man. I'd never let her out of my sight if I were you." It was a power play. He was marking territory right in front of me. "I'm gonna get another drink," Jessica said. "Brad, come help me carry them." They walked off, without me. An hour later, the DJ started playing dance music. The lights dimmed, the atmosphere shifted from corporate stiff to nightclub chaotic. I found them on the dance floor. They weren't dancing, they were grinding. Jessica had her back to him, his hands were on her hips. Her head was thrown back, laughing at something he whispered in her ear. It was the kind of dancing that leads to a hotel room key being slipped into a pocket. People were looking. I saw her boss raise an eyebrow. I saw her colleagues whispering. I felt sick. The humiliation was physical. It felt like a sunburn all over my body. I walked onto the dance floor. I tapped Jessica on the shoulder. She spun around, her eyes glazed with alcohol and adrenaline. "What?" she snapped. "You're making a scene," I whispered. "Can we please tone it down or go home?" She pulled away from me. "Oh my God," she groaned loudly. "Here we go again, the jealous husband act. Tom, stop trying to control me. I'm dancing. It's a party. Brad is just a friend." Brad stepped in, chest puffed out. "Hey man, relax. She's just having fun. Don't be that guy." "That guy?" I looked at him. The insecure buzzkill, Brad said. Jessica laughed. She actually laughed. Go get a drink, Tom, she said, waving her hand dismissively. Go sit down. You're ruining the vibe. Then she turned her back on me and started dancing with Brad again. That was the moment. The snap. I didn't feel anger anymore. I felt clarity. The veil lifted. I realized that she didn't just lack respect for me. She actively enjoyed humiliating me. It gave her power. I didn't go sit down. I walked to the bar. I ordered a double scotch, neat. I stood there, watching the room, planning my exit. I was going to call an Uber and leave her there. But then someone stood next to me. Rough night? A voice asked. I looked to my left. It was a woman. She was wearing a sleek emerald green dress, dark hair, intelligent eyes, and a calmness about her that felt like water in a desert. Is it that obvious? I asked. I saw what happened, she said. She wasn't looking at me with pity. She was looking at me with understanding. My husband is doing the same thing. Over there, the blonde in the silver dress. I looked. Her husband was flirting aggressively with an intern. I'm Tom, I said. Elena, she replied. She clinked her glass against mine. To being the boring spouses. We started talking. And I mean really talking. Elena was fascinating. She was an architect. She was funny, sharp, and attentive. She asked me questions and actually listened to the answers. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like a prop. I felt like a man. About 20 minutes passed. The music changed. A slow song. Wicked Game, a cover version. Haunting and romantic. I love this song, Elena said softly. I looked at the dance floor. Jessica was still with Brad, but they had separated to get drinks. I looked back at Elena. Would you like to dance? I asked. Elena hesitated a split second, then smiled. A real smile. I would love to. We walked onto the floor. Not into the dark, grinding corner where Jessica and Brad were, but into the center, under the chandelier. I put my hand on Elena's waist. She placed her hand on my shoulder. We moved. It wasn't sexual in a trashy way. It was elegant. It was intimate. We maintained eye contact. We talked quietly. We laughed. For the first time that night, I was smiling. I forgot about Jessica. I forgot about Brad. I was just enjoying the moment with a beautiful woman who treated me like a human being. I didn't know that Jessica had returned from the bar. I didn't know she was looking for me, probably to tell me to hold her purse again, but I felt the shift in the room. Suddenly I heard a shriek. Tom? The music didn't stop, but the people around us did. I stopped dancing and turned. Jessica was standing there. Her face was a mask of pure shock and rage. Brad was standing behind her, looking awkward. What the hell are you think you're doing? She screamed. Her voice cracked. I kept my hand on Elena's back, a protective gesture. I'm dancing, I said, calmly. Just like you said, it's just a party. We're just having fun. Who is she? Jessica pointed a shaking finger at Elena. Get your hands off my husband, you. She used a word that I won't repeat. Elena didn't flinch. She stepped forward, radiating class. My name is Elena, and considering I watched you grind on that man for 2 hours while your husband stood alone, I don't think you're in a position to throw insults. The crowd gasped. I mean literally gasped. Jessica turned red. Tom, are you gonna let her talk to me like that? Step away from her right now. She expected me to fold. She expected the nice guy Tom to apologize, to scramble, to beg for forgiveness for making her upset. Instead, I looked at her. I looked at Brad, and then I looked at Elena. No, I said. The word hung in the air. No? She whispered. I'm not doing this anymore, Jess, I said. You told me I was insecure. You told me dancing with others is harmless. You told me to stop being a buzzkill. So I took your advice. Elena is a wonderful dance partner. Why are you upset? Unless unless you think there's something wrong with dancing with other people. It was a trap, and she walked right into it. It's different, she shrieked. Why? I asked. Because you're you and me is me? Because you're allowed to have fun, but I'm supposed to be your audience? She stammered. She looked around. People were staring. Her boss was staring. She realized she was losing the narrative. She tried to switch to victim mode. Tears welled up in her eyes instantly. I can't believe you're doing this to me. In front of everyone. You're cheating on me. Dancing isn't cheating, Jessica, I said, my voice hard. According to you 10 minutes ago, it was just strategy. We're done here. I turned to Elena. Thank you for the dance. You saved my night. Elena squeezed my hand. Good luck, Tom.